Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. We are coming to you live on tape, as Stephen Colbert says, from the upper echelon of the Winchester Habitat for Humanity Restore. Kim Herbstritt is here with me. She is their Executive Director. We got a whole slew of people we're going to talk to today, but Kim, before we get in the weeds, I have to tell you I found a ton of stuff downstairs in the Restore that I've already taken pictures of and texted to my husband. So you're either going to be his favorite person this evening or maybe not.
That's awesome. Hopefully you're following us on our Facebook page.
I do. I don't know who does your social media here, but they are doing an excellent job because they're always funny.
Yep, the Restore folks will share that with you when we get to that. So yeah, we do have a website, Blue Ridge Habitat for Humanity. You can access our Restore from that website as well. But let me say a little bit about Blue Ridge Habitat. I'm sure many folks are familiar with Habitat. In the state of Virginia, there's actually 37, I think it is, Habitat affiliates kind of sprinkled across the state. Blue Ridge Habitat specifically focuses on the city of Winchester, Frederick County, Clark County, and Shenandoah County. We primarily focus on home ownership. That's our main work that we do and our mission. We believe every person deserves a decent place to live. And I think we all know that these days that's extremely hard and challenging for many. We talk about the housing continuum. It's important to have affordable rentals, affordable home ownership, and we need all of that here in the region. But again, Habitat focuses on home ownership. We also have a repair program that we'll talk a little bit about here as well, an aging in place program, and then we have our Restore. Blue Ridge Habitat started in 1997. We were under a different name at that time, and we've grown over the years. In 2018-19, I think it was, we expanded into Shenandoah County and have actually built 3 homes in Shenandoah County that we just closed on last year, which was exciting for those families. I think we're up to about 92 homes we've built.
What?
Yep. 92 homes and still going. We've got 7 potential lots in Winchester, and then we've got sprinklings of other properties across the region in addition to a large piece of property in Frederick County, and are excited about continuing to increase our production. We have to do more, and our challenge now is navigating all the changes that are going on, which we continue to, as a nonprofit, be excellent stewards of the funds that we receive. That not only means donations that come in, but donations that come to the Restore and purchases, and always making sure that we're looking at our expenses and ensuring that we're putting as much money back into the community as possible to have the impact for families and our seniors and veterans. We do have an application process. It's currently closed because we're working to figure out all the financing and the formula to really step into the construction of the homes that we've got on our build schedule. Some of the changes that are going on federally are definitely
They're going to have an impact.
They're going to have an impact. Excited that staff and the board are working hard to really figure out how do we continue our mission if and when things change. So that's where we're at. But folks, if they're interested in being a homeowner, they should keep checking our website, because that's where we will post when the application process is open. BlueRidgeHabitat.org. In the upper right corner, if you click on menu, it'll take you to a menu of options. Click on programs, and then that'll take you into the portion of the website that actually has information about the homeownership program. We focus on families that are 80% or below the area median income. We do have information on our website about that, but as an example, in the city of Winchester in Frederick County, a family of 4, 80% or below, their median income, the income limit would be $90,500.
What?
For a family of 4.
Wow.
So if there's a family of 4 and you're interested in being a homeowner and your income is $90,500 or below, and again, that information is on our website.
You checked the first box.
Right. The next thing is really 3 things. Is there a need? Is there a willingness to partner? And being able to pay a mortgage, because at the end of this, it's an actual closing. Mm-hmm. The family becomes the homeowner of that property.
I think that's a misconception amongst some of the public, is they think you're building these houses and giving them away. And there is a mortgage, there is a commitment above and beyond them helping you with sweat equity. They still have a house payment to make at the end of the day.
Absolutely. We do not give houses away for free. The families have to work for that house, and it's a closing. It would be like for anyone who's going to close close on a home, all the documents you have to sign, that's the same thing that happens. And what we do in order to ensure that the home and that mortgage is affordable for the family, and we focus on that mortgage to not be more than 30% of their income, which is what it should be really.
For anyone, quite frankly,
right?
yes.
But the reality is we've got 44%, and with the United Way's Alice Project, the Alice population, there's a significant number of people in the community that are paying upwards of 50% on their housing, which
and
is
it's not
really
even
difficult.
adequate housing.
No. So we take that first mortgage, that first deed, and then we work to back into other funding, down payment assistance, and we just stack and layer. The name of this game is really stacking and layering as much as we can and knowing where the different sources of funding are and just doing our part to make that home affordable for the family. The other thing that I would say, and you had mentioned it, is sweat equity. We do require our families to a minimum of 250 hours of sweat equity. There's a lot of work that they have to do, which is really important work. Housing counseling, learning how to do some level of repairs on their home, because once you become a homeowner, those repairs are on you now. And our repair program is not going to go in and repair them.
It's a lot of education.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. And it becomes their responsibility. So we have them take a lot of classes and do a lot of work to really be prepared to move from being a renter to a homeowner. One of the things that we've done is we have our families complete a process of creating a will, because that's really important. Once you own a home, that for many people will be the asset.
The largest asset they have,
Absolutely.
likely.
So you want to make sure that should something happen, that your wishes are carried out. And so that is one of the sweat equity requirements that we have for our families. And unfortunately, that's really come to be as a result of homeowners that have passed away that haven't had a will. So we saw that and we implemented that change. And I would say for our sweat equity, we're always looking at it and seeing what things do we need to change to ensure that, again, that our families are really prepared for the responsibility of homeownership. I'll also say that we're very supportive. We are your advocate. We want to be your cheerleader, but it's also, if you don't follow through with communications and emails and documentation and things like that, then it's just not going to work. So it's an exciting opportunity for families to be able to change the trajectory of their life and their kids' life, building generational wealth. And people don't always know or think about that housing is health, housing is education, housing is economic impact. Kids perform better in school when they have a place they can study, when it's a healthy, clean place. It's a quiet place.
When they know they're going to sleep in the same bed every night.
Absolutely. The stress and anxiety around that. Those are all important things that I think a lot of times we don't think about when it comes to homes and home ownership and ensuring that our families have healthy, safe places to live. And that also goes into our Aging in Place program and the importance of a healthy, safe environment for our seniors so that they have the opportunity to age in place. And that's going to look different. That'll be ramps and grab bars and other ways to adapt a person's home, picking up the rugs so they don't trip on the rugs. Those are important things. But again, if people are interested in becoming a homeowner, check our website, blueridgehabitat.org/programs, and that'll take you to where we'll be posting that information. Get your application in. The other thing I would say is credit scores do matter. We work with people who their credit scores maybe aren't great. That will be one of the requirements, is if you don't have a good credit score, don't not apply. Don't have that be a barrier.
That too is a process.
Absolutely, and we will help and work with you on that, but it will take work. And it does matter because at the end of the day,
it is still a mortgage.
It's financing, it's a loan, and the banks and financial institutions and third parties that we work with want to know that their money is going to get paid back.
Where do you get the lots to do it and contractors? How does that side of it work? Because I think it's hidden for most of us unless I'm one of those families that's getting that house.
Yeah, a lot of different ways. We'll get lots donated. We'll purchase sometimes lots that are not market rate because we can't buy a lot at a market rate. The numbers just won't work for us. So We do get folks that'll reach out and want to donate a lot to us, and the folks that transaction has been with, they want to see their land, to have something meaningful done.
Well, that's the
with
flip
their
side of the wills that you were talking about earlier. If there is someone in the community that has 2 or 3 lots that they bought 50 years ago because they had the intention of doing something or passing them down to their kids, and now their kids are living in California or somewhere else, they can gift those to you in their will and know that somebody is going to have a home to live in on one of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. The other thing I want to touch on is, and you had mentioned contractors, and Blue Ridge Habitat is a licensed contractor. It's good for us to have that. Yeah, it's good for us to have that as part of the work that we do. But Habitat's affiliates used to, and still there's a lot of Habitats across the country that still use volunteers for a lot of the work that they do in building homes. But as our building codes change and requirements change, it makes it harder for us to use volunteers. In addition, we want to make sure that we can get that home built and ready for the family to move in as quickly as possible.
Quickly and safely.
We love our volunteers, but at times it takes longer for our volunteers because they're volunteering, and we appreciate that. So we've really moved from using volunteers on our new home construction. It doesn't mean we're not going to use them. We will plug them in at certain points, but we use our volunteers more on our repairs. And Brittany will talk more about that as far as having the amazing partnerships we have with different businesses and stuff, and the work that the volunteers do on the repairs.
And that speaks to that economic impact that you were talking about earlier. That's not just because a family now has a home. It's because you're doing this stuff locally. So you're buying products locally. You're employing local people. You're also contributing to our local economy by building these houses here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's the ripple that, again, a lot of people don't always see, is we might not use as many volunteers on our new home construction, but we are using local small businesses that now are able to potentially bring on new staff because they've got steady work. So yeah, it's a whole system really, with everyone kind of doing their part. And we're excited and certainly honored and appreciated to do the work we do. It's amazing work. There's nothing like being there for a family with a home dedication when
they get the keys and the kids see their rooms. I can't even imagine.
The kids run around and, you know, which room is yours? It is the most, it just gives me chills to even think about it. The amazing impact that everyone, not just Blue Ridge Habitat, staff, board, but the community plays a part in. Anyone who's bought anything or donated anything to the Restore, thank you, because you have helped make that difference. You have helped to support a child who is now able to perform better in school because he's got or she's got a healthy, safe environment.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's flip over to Age Well Council, Aging in Place, and go to the other end of the spectrum. Does that work?
That's perfect.
We are sitting today at Blue Ridge Habitat for Humanity offices, which are over the Restore. I'm telling you, you got to come in, wander around the Restore, and don't forget to go look at all the building supplies. That's my fun part. I love the furniture, but then I'm like, oh, they've got cabinets, and there's doors, and there's windows, and there's all the things. We're going to come back and talk more with Brittany, Matt, and Izzy in just a couple of minutes. Got a few hours to give? You could make a local nonprofit's day. On September 19th, United Way NSV invites you to join over 900 volunteers for Day of Caring, the region's biggest single-day volunteer event. You'll help nonprofits across the valley by painting, landscaping, organizing donations, or doing light repairs, whatever's needed. No special skills, just a willingness to help. Whether you're solo or part of a team, your time will make a real difference. Sign up today at unitedwaynsv.org/Day of Caring. Be part of something bigger. Help us care for the Valley together. Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. We are talking today with Blue Ridge Habitat for Humanity. We're sitting in their offices upstairs over the Winchester Restore. Again, I can't say enough. Come take a look and know that you are helping them build the houses that Kim was talking about in our first segment. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk with Brittany Day. Brittany is the Aging in Place Coordinator. Matt Sharp is here with us as well. He is the Restore Manager. Izzy France is here. She is the Restore Assistant Manager. But Brittany, I want to start with you because because I have a little bit of background on the Age Well Council and on the Aging in Place Critical Repairs program that you do through my affiliation with United Way. Okay. But for someone who has no idea what it is we're talking about, give me an overview of those two things.
So it all started back with 2017 when we started the Critical Home Repair Program. The majority of the homeowners who needed help with their repairs were individuals over the age of 60, primarily women living alone. In 2021, the Aging in Place position became available as a way to specifically look at how we can help these older homeowners stay in their home, reduce any safety issues that may be present, help out with accessibility, because those were some of the major requests that were coming in. So I'll just walk you through what happens with our program. We get a request for a repair, we make sure that there's funding available, and then I personally go out and visit with the homeowners. And while I'm there, they're telling me about the spot on the wall that's caused by the leak in the roof, and they're telling me about a couple things, but I'm also watching how they move. Is accessibility an issue? Sometimes it takes a couple of different visits, but we'll find out things like there's some food insecurity in the home. We'll find out that transportation to doctor's appointments has become a major issue. We'll find out that they feel isolated because they don't go out as much as they used to, especially post-COVID. And these are all issues that happen to a lot of our older community members, but sadly, it's not necessarily something that Habitat as a housing doesn't do. So with that came the Age Well Council. We are a group of nonprofits, businesses, local community members that are very focused on trying to figure out how to collaborate with one another to help seniors age in place. So, for example, I'll see that there's a food insecurity issue. They're within Winchester City, I'm calling Highland Food Pantry. I'm sending them that way. If there's a socialization part, Seniors First has the senior center, so we're making a call over there to see if they can get the ball rolling on a couple of different things. Transportation gets to be a hard one, but if it's for medical appointments, we can figure that one out.
You've got Seniors First or even Wheels for Wellness in some cases.
Exactly. So that is the Age Well Council. It's in its third or fourth year. I'm having a hard time remembering because it actually started with my predecessor before I came on. We have a resource guide for seniors and caregivers that live within the Frederick County, Winchester City area. We did that at the tail end of 2023. And it's got a list of resources. It looks like a little pamphlet that you can just have hanging on the fridge. And it is a resource that a lot of our community members, like not even just the seniors, just the community members in general, don't know that these resources are available. Mm-hmm. So that's where the Age Well Council came from.
And when you're talking about critical home repairs, it's never just one thing, and it is rarely the thing that they call you about.
Exactly. So the critical home repairs are your big ones. They are your bathroom situations. Roofs tend to be a big one, and one of the number one calls that I've been getting this year. The big thing that I've noticed is that I will go into a home and we're fixating on there's this spot on the wall over here, but that spot on the wall is coming from the leak in the roof. So if it's showing up on the wall, where else is the problem? It's like peeling back the layers of an onion when you go into some of these older homes. It's never as straightforward as you think it's going to be. But sometimes it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. For example, we went out the other day to a home where we thought that there was a problem with the pipe coming from the toilet. And it actually turned out just to be the wax ring was gone. And it was a quick and easy fix.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there waiting for it to be this huge thing, and it's not. So there are those nice little flip sides where it's not the, oh my goodness, this thing is so crazy. But in the areas we serve a lot of areas that are older homes.
And you're dealing with these senior citizens and veterans who have lived in these homes since their early 20s. And they're now 60s and even older. They don't want to go anywhere. They may not necessarily need to go somewhere if you can put the grab bars in, if you can have that ramp installed so they can safely get in and out of their house more easily. Habitat is not just about new homes for families. It's about keeping the home that you have in a lot of cases too.
Yes, and as Kim pointed out, that's where our volunteers come in, is with our repair program. We do have quite a few amazing volunteer groups that have helped us out this past year. Southeastern Container, Team Rubicon, Valley Health, Navy Federal. We have a wonderful group down in Woodstock that helps out from one of the churches. They have put together 7 or 8 ramps since 2022. It's been the volunteer groups that have put those together, and a couple of them get much more involved than just putting together ramps. Like, they're a little bit more skilled, they want to be out there a little bit longer.
Here, let me do a little landscaping, and it
Yes,
looks like
and-
this needs to be done.
And that's just absolutely amazing. We had a group that did something very similar. I had so many volunteers show up for this little ramp, and they're sitting there looking for other stuff that they can do, and they're helping pick stuff up inside the house. They're fixing some stuff in the landscaping. They were taking on the initiative to do it themselves. That was pretty fun.
And I don't think we can overstate the value of the ramps. I'm fresh coming off of impact grant panels. The amount of freedom that you can give to someone who is literally trapped in their house because if they try to go out their front door or back door, they could fall and seriously injure themselves, so they just don't even try, is crazy. So you are making a real change in their lives, not just their homes.
The one that I could think of right now was really very interesting, trying to figure out how to do this one. She, for lack of a better term, she had a gully separating her porch from her parking area, and she couldn't get out. She's in a wheelchair, she couldn't get out. Her friends were having a hard time pushing her through this area, especially when it's been wet. Our construction manager actually came up with this great idea of, let's take one of the ramps and make it as a bridge. And we hadn't even finished cleaning up, and she's out there going up and down that ramp, enjoying it. Like, she could finally get out and enjoy the sun, and she didn't have to wait for anybody. That was really, really fun. And then talking about being creative, we've had one repair several years ago where the couple needed a ramp. It was going to be a very convoluted ramp with how the place was set up and how steep everything was, and our director of construction came up with well, what if we gave you a back door that you could just walk out of? And so it's not always what we think is going to happen.
You're bringing so much knowledge to the table and ideas and creativity.
Yes, and some of the creativity comes with how we layer funding. So you were talking impact grant, which is usually one of our biggest funding sources. But sometimes we need to add in additional funding from, if we're working in Shenandoah County, there might be some money from Shenandoah County, there might be some money from Clark County, there might be money from an individual donor that has said that they specifically want it for the repair program. We do a lot of layering of funds to make sure that we can make these projects happen. And we do not start any project without knowing for sure we're going to be able to finish it.
So how can people get more information? What should they do first?
If they need a repair, they would want to go to our website, and as Kim stated, it's blueridgehabitat.org/programs. You scroll down, you're going to have both of our repair programs on there, the critical home and the aging in place. Does not matter which one you click, it's going to take you to the exact same form that you fill out, because we'll figure out which program you need to be in. To donate, you would also go to blueridgehabitat.org and select Donate Now at the top of the homepage.
So now we're going to move over to the shopping part. Matt Sharp is here with us as well. He is the Restore Manager. Izzy France is here. She is the Restore Assistant Manager. So Matt, tell me, if I walk into the Restore at any given day, what am I likely to see before me?
A myriad of objects. Furniture ranging from couches and chairs, wingback chairs and recliners, to bookcases and china hutches and dressers. Really anything to furnish your house. As you walk around the store, you'll come to our appliances area. They are provided by donation, so we may not have what you need at the moment, but as long as you follow our Facebook page, we will keep you updated on what's in stock.
I highly recommend notifications. Go to the Blue Ridge Habitat Restore Facebook page and click the little thing that says notify me when they make a post.
Absolutely. I personally update it daily.
So it's
So
you.
it is.
Good job.
Thank you. I try. So as you continue through the store, you'll see in the second showroom, as we call it, there is doors and cabinetry and tools and everything you need for fixing the home, the actual tools you need for that. We have paint, and we actually keep the paint in stock. We have interior, exterior paint.
Orange chalk paint down there that
Yes,
might have to leave with me
yes.
today too.
We have a beautiful recolored chalk paint in a rainbow of color, just anything you can imagine. We keep those both in stock, so we have them available at all times. That's pretty much the gist of what you see in the Restore.
I love that you keep that in stock, because when I come here and buy a gallon of paint or a tube of caulk or a sofa or a dresser, it's really great to be able to get some of those things on the regular that I know my dollar's going even further than if I'm shopping at a big box store.
Exactly. Yeah, we keep those on stock at all time. Paint, chalk paint, regular paint, and then we also keep certain tools in stock at all times. So you'll find them at a very competitive price compared to other big box retailers in our area.
What kinds of things do you take from a donation perspective? I assume they have to be in a certain condition. You don't want a broken stove or a sofa with holes in it.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. So we take really most things that you'd find in a house. Furniture, like you said, nothing with rips or tears in the upholstery. Like Matt said, any kind of couches, chairs, dining tables. We occasionally will get pianos in. We get all kinds of stuff. Construction, we love getting construction supplies. It's something that we don't get as much as we used to since COVID. A lot of the prices for construction supplies went way up. So now a lot of the contractors and vendors that were donating construction supplies in large amounts have since sheared away, and now they're repurposing that for their projects to save a little bit of money. So we love getting any kind of equipment like that. Lumber is a huge seller. You saw downstairs we've got tons of doors, tons of cabinets. But yeah, in short, we accept most things for the home.
I think sometimes people forget, like we do a ton of home improvement projects. Like we're always building something, fixing something, painting something, doing something around our house. And I am the one that would rather buy too much of what I think we need because I love you, honey, but he doesn't always get it right on the first try. But I can bring my extra pieces for that here. I think sometimes people think, oh no, they only want it from contractors. But if I have extra plywood or I have extra lumber from a project, or I bought 2 gallons of paint and it's not really the color that I thought, so you can have the one unopened gallon, I can donate those things here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the stuff that really helps us do what we're trying to do. I mean, the Restore is one of the most consistent sources of funding for the home repairs and the home builds that Habitat does. So all of those donations really help. And sometimes if we get something that we're looking for in the moment for a repair, we'll just grab it for Brittany or for our construction crew. We've got a stove sitting in the basement with Brittany's name on it right now. Really, we'll accept most things. Right now, we're just a little overstocked on wired lighting and bed frames, but other than that,
I don't have either of those in my house. I'll bring you any of those. But how does that work? So do I just roll up in here and drop it off? Do I call, make an appointment? Will you come get it? Give me those logistics.
For pickups, if you need to schedule a pickup, we make it very easy. You go online to our website, blueridgehabitat.org. Up at the top of the screen, you will see our request donation pickup in bright orange. Click on that. It brings you right to the donation pickup request form. Fill that out. Then you can upload pictures right to that form. That form then comes to me. I review them every day. I go through them, and as long as it looks like something that we can accept in the store, that will fit in our store, that we can then use to create funds for Blue Ridge Habitat for Humanity, we will set up a pickup for you. Right now, we're doing pickups on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Right now, at the moment, it's just 1 week ahead. So if you fill out that form today, we will have it picked up either next Tuesday or next Thursday.
Oh, wow.
If it's a local business or something, they can follow the same process. We try to make it very easy and a painless process.
And that's really good to know if you're moving. And you know you're not taking your furniture and none of your family has room for it and you don't want to pay to store it because you don't know if you're ever going to need it again. Being able to reach out to you and say, hey, I've got this sofa, chairs, dining room table. Oh, and by the way, I forgot I bought that refrigerator. It's not staying with my house. Those kinds of things you can come and get.
Absolutely. Downsizing is one of the primary reasons we get behind donations. I'm moving here, I'm moving across country to California with my son, and I just don't have room for everything. So would you guys come pick up this dresser and this microwave and this stove? Absolutely, we'll be there.
What do you not accept? Sometimes that list is more important than the things that you do. Like I didn't see any clothing downstairs.
yes, so we do not sell clothing.
Take that to the clothing house
Yeah.
at CCAP. There are dozens of places around town that you can donate clothing.
So clothing we do not accept. Wired lighting and bed frames, like I said, right now we just don't have the space for them. I've got piles and piles of lights at the moment. Unframed glass and mirrors, it's just a safety issue. They tend to break, so we try to steer clear of those. Electronics that are over 5 years old, they kind of age out. And then any appliances that we take, we just ask that they are in good, clean, and working condition. Mattresses and box springs, that's in health code regulations, so I can't accept those. But other than that, we're pretty open.
I'd like to take a minute to talk about dropping off items. It does help us tremendously to have items dropped off right at the Restore. Our hours for drop-offs are very similar to what the Restore's hours are itself. The Restore is open 9 to 5, Tuesday through Friday, and 9 to 4 on Saturday. We just ask that any donations that are dropped off at our location are done within a half hour of closing. So 4:30 Tuesday through Friday, and then 3:30 on Saturday.
What is the address for the Restore?
The address for the Restore, I'm glad you asked.
Because it's fairly new-ish.
We moved to this location, I believe opening was September of 2023. And our current location, which is at 443 Millwood Avenue in Winchester, Virginia.
You're on the corner where Goodwill used to be.
On the corner where Goodwill used to be. That is a common way we identify our location.
Yeah, I get yelled at for giving people directions by what
Yeah.
used to be where, because we
Yeah.
have so many new people in our community, they have no idea that Goodwill used to be in this building. So I catch a fair amount of heat for using those as directional
It
points.
helps a lot, though. We're also right across the street from Shenandoah University and right down from Sheets.
Can I come volunteer for you at the Restore?
Yes, and volunteering at the Restore is super, super easy to get started with. You can either just pop in, say hi, or you can give us a call. All we need is just you to come fill out a couple liability waivers, just so you understand the limitations of the role and then simple things like dress code and all. But then from there, it's simple helping us load in donations that are dropped off or helping us load out couches and things that customers have bought, helping us clean up, reorganize. We move a lot of furniture every day, so the extra hands are always nice. Sometimes we just use volunteers to help answer the phones and keep up with the daily communication. So there's all kinds of stuff that we can do. If we don't have any repair projects open for volunteers, we're always looking for extra hands in the Restore.
Fantastic. Izzy, Matt, thank you both for giving me some inside scoop about the Restore.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brittany, thank you for enlightening my listeners about the critical home repairs and the Age Well Council.
Oh, thank you for letting me.
Kim, you've got an incredible team here.
Absolutely.
They're doing incredible work in the community. So thank you for keeping them all together and for all the work that you do at the head of Blue Ridge Habitat.
We do have an amazing team here doing amazing work in the community, and certainly appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and to communicate and educate the community in regards to the work we do at Blue Ridge Habitat, and we're just happy to be here to help.
And it all starts at blueridgehabitat.org.
That's right.
And go follow them on Facebook. I'll put links to all of them in the show notes at thevalleytodaypodcast.com. But thank you. I appreciate all of your time today.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Janet.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.